Jason Demetriou, mate. I saw this headline, which I absolutely pissed myself at, which was Jason. It's been changed now from the Daily Telegraph, so I can't. I
That
couldn't
never
even.
happens either. That's crazy. Oh my
I
god.
can't officially find the headline anymore. I think they've changed it to a sub headline. But Jason Demetriou has 80 minutes to save his career. Now, I believe this is the new full support of the board, where this is like they come out, they can't actually get anyone to say anything, so they're just going to throw out that a certain coach has 80 minutes to save his career, which is funny because, like, you know, if he wins this week and loses next week, does it disappear? Does he win this week and then you go, well, hold on, no, we'll give you another 80 minutes, save your career? Like, it just keeps on going on and on and on until he starts winning, continuously, or, what happens?
What was a funnier headline out of Souths this week? You tell me what gave you more of a chuckle. 80 minutes to save his career, or Craig Bellamy is interested in coaching Souths? Which one was more far from the truth? Bellamy's got to be way more far from the truth, I guess. 80 minutes to save a career is just as funny, though, to me. It's just... the Souths have now entered the Tigers' realm of you're allowed to just say whatever you want about them, and it'll probably stick. And that the Tigers have gone through that for a long, long time now, where certain outlets just kind of say whatever, and then everyone goes, it sounds kind of believable, actually. And Souths are entering that territory, which is new. I haven't seen Souths reported on like this in my lifetime. So it's so bizarre for me to see it, but you can look at it. I think it's really funny because Souths are a basket case right now, but historically are a well put together club. So I think it really exposes some certain people when they write things like this and the general public go, what?
Yeah. I remember when they came back into the league and they sucked for so long that it was like there was stories and there was stuff written, but it was like it was almost expected. Now this club that's been in preliminary finals and for so many years has been so successful. Last year, not so well. This year they've started horribly. Yeah, but it's like weird, like you said, to see some of these articles written about this club that has had, been up in lights for so many years. But I just think, like, regardless of what happens in this game, this 80 minutes, he can't be safe for too long, right? Like, if they're writing this, obviously they get, should we be setting him up like I said, setting him up with a heart monitor or a timer, like, and it's like 80 minutes where we're counting down till his demise? Or look, I don't want to see a guy get sacked. But
we need the worm. You remember the worm, and what we need is the bunny staff. They're the ones on the worm, and we just have JD's face there, and the worm goes up and down throughout the game. Oh, Colin Matungi's dropped the ball. That's bad on the worm. Like, that's
yes, yeah. He's like, he's packing his suitcase already. It's going down. I just think it's crazy headline, but look, crazy 80 minutes coming up for Jason Demetriou. Well, we'll wait and see, eh?
I've got some good news for Jason Demetriou, because talking about the Bunnies back in the day, do you remember young Jason Taylor when he used to coach the South Sydney Rabbitohs? Yeah. Souths have had a pretty bad start to the year. All right. Think back to 2008. They didn't win. Funny? Yeah. They didn't win in their first 12 rounds. Didn't get the sack. Think back to 2006. They didn't win for the first 14 games, and he clearly didn't get the sack then either. It wasn't until an off-field incident did he get sacked. So what I'm saying, South fans, is you've been here before. Just hold strong. Like, this isn't... It's... I did a bit on the show today about how I kind of somewhat feel South fans are being a little jaded and a little selfish. It's tough. We're not all Penrith. There's one Penrith. There's only one of them. And they're heaps good. Oh, they're heaps good. But welcome to the rest of the league, dude. Like, this is what we've all been doing for the last 6 years while you've been in prelims and not winning. There's such a thing as a premiership window. It is what it is. The Tigers get more fans to their games than you.
Yeah. And
what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
Years of shit.
It's some of the most, and I hate to rag on Souths fans because I consider myself a bit of a closet Souths fan. I watch every Souths game. My old boy, diehard Souths fan. My older sister, diehard Souths fan. I watch every Souths game, every single one. And I've seen this. I've seen this before. I watched when they came back into the league. This isn't new to me. In fact, to be honest, this is the Souths I know. Like, this is what I know. And I think
this is
I'm just going to say it.
South. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that thought that the red and green looked pretty good around 2014 that I think are a little bit rocked right now.
Yep.
And this is just kind of, I understand the squad's good, but outside of Souths fans, I don't think a lot of people had them penned to be a premiership contender this year. I didn't. In fact, I was like, are they going to make the 8 or not? So Souths fans have just been so jaded by their recent successes. And that's not to say that you can't be upset on the on-field performances. No, they're not great. And that's not to say that like Tigers fans haven't been upset over the last few years and Dragons fans haven't been upset. But I'm seeing calls for JD to be sacked. And then I always do this. I ask the follow-up question. Who's the Souths assistant coach? And they never know. They don't even know who they want him replaced with. They just want him gone. His name's Ben Hornby, by the way, for those playing along at home. Like,
Dragons
they just
great.
go. And I think it is like a really interesting moment because I feel like it's such a leak from the English Premier League and also American sports where it's just so easy to say, sack the coach. Whereas historically, especially for this club, which I've just written out, they don't sack coaches. Like, they kind of trust the process at South Sydney. So now for this coach to be so under pressure, after, I know back end of last year was crap, but that was last year. They re-signed him. Surely that was a line in the sand. So I understand. But I think when you start cherry picking shit like that, how far back do you get to go? When they say, oh, they've only won 4 from their last 20. Well, how many have they won out of the last 30? Or the last 40? Or the last 50? Pretty good, actually. When you do those numbers, they look all right. In fact, they're a really good side. So I think it's really a real interesting moment for newer South fans who... just toys out the cot kind of stuff. It's really interesting to me. You've got an Origin quality centre out. You've got the bloke that's going to be the highest try scorer in NRL history out. Jai Arrow is an Origin player out.
Yep.
Your halfback's got a broken leg after playing. Like, it's... I'm not saying you should expect to struggle and live with it, but I think the rhetoric is pretty crazy. Like, I'm talking to a Dragons fan here.
You're very passionate here. Like, I like this from you.
Well, it's just, I just don't cop it. Like, is it a bit rough right now?
No, there's other teams out there that have been through so much more shit than what they're currently going through. And agree with everything you're saying. Like, you know, if they sack the coach, like, it's like, what do you expect to happen?
And then they go, Sam Burgess is going to come back. Like, listen, I love Sam as much as the next bloke, but he's just coached his first 7 games ever.
Yeah.
And this is South Sydney. This isn't like what like this isn't Warrington. This is literally the oldest club in the league.
Yeah.
You don't just get gifted that because you broke your cheekbone in 2015. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. I am passionate about it just because I'm like, I think it's a bit of like toys out the pram kind of gear. And that's not to say you shouldn't be upset because your team lost. I get upset when the Cows lose all the time. But I think the influence from other codes and other sports has really seeped through, and people forget that rugby league isn't that big and rugby league isn't that huge, and you're saying someone should lose their job without a replacement. You're not just saying, oh, this is the plan, because your plan starts next year. So what happens for the rest of the year? Yeah. I don't really get it. And South historically have been a club that just kind of, well, they don't really rock boats. The good suspension
for South fans and Donny. By the feel.
Like, anyway, that's.
I want to check back. Oh no, I want to check back in like 5 rounds and just see what, because you're keeping more of an eye on what South fans are saying than I am. So now I'm probably going to be more intrigued. I'm going to be keeping more of an eye out on what they're saying as well. Like next time I post like a win-loss post, I'm going to focus more on South losing than the other team winning, and just see what sort of responses I get. So
they're going crazy. They're losing their minds, Roasty. Yeah. They can't. Yeah, it's really
interesting. Welcome to the world of the bottom 8, South fans.
Welcome to rugby league, dude. Yeah.
Sorry, bottom 9 now, not the bottom 8, but
well, they're bottom 17th actually.
True.
But anyway,
Jesus, like I was trying to think of like how do I put this in a meme format where they've won a game, the Titans haven't, and the Titans are still above them on the ladder. It's like what instantly popped into my head was like Vince Vaughn's character in Anchorman, where he goes, "You guys couldn't say anything. Is my camera gone or what?
No, you're on.
Froze it up. He goes, you guys couldn't say anything. Even the guy that can't speak said something. So
the meme that I'm thinking of is Rob Schneider. Oh no, we suck again, because that's what I remember South being.
Yes. Yep.
Like that's not to say that they should accept mediocrity, but gee whiz, it's not that bad, guys. Like,
no, calm down.